yeast in it and make some bread out of it. Now it's in everything. White flour is in everything. And that's why it's so affordable, because it's made out of white flour. It's the stuff most companies used to throw away, and now it's stuff that we put in our mouth. So the number fourth reason is most people think they can't afford to eat healthy. That's a huge, I hear that all the time. You know, I would eat healthy, but I can't afford it. Well, inevitably, when you get metabolic syndrome and you're paying out the ass for prescription medications, whether it be for your high triglycerides, your diabetes, your low cholesterol, high cholesterol, or any number of the things you're going to be buying at the pharmacy, and including your insulin and your test strips and all that crap, over-the-counter medications, because chances are you're going to have indigestion all the time. If you're eating this stuff all the time, you're going to have an upset stomach, pretty much 24/7. First thing you do when you lie down to go to bed, acid reflux comes up in your throat. So you're going to be having all kinds of medications for that alone. Not to mention the aches and pains you're going to have. Your body's going to be hurting all the time. You're always going to have headaches. Your knees are going to be sore. And then doctor bills on top of that, junk food on top of that, and then all the time you got to run around to do all these things with. So when you really break it down like this, we can't afford not to be healthy. You can't put a monetary value on your health. And if you actually do the math, it actually saves you money when you do get healthy. Because the reality really is we can't afford not to be healthy. We pass things down from generation to generation, and that's how the new generation improves on what the old generation did. It's always a legacy. The pioneers came to this country and they started out very, very strong. And coincidentally, the life expectancy rate has gone up every single year in this country since the very first settler came, with the exception of the generation that was born in the 1980s. This is going to be the first generation to not live as long as a preceding generation. So what are we teaching our kids? What happened? Where did the line get drawn in the sand where it's okay? That's what I don't understand. So I spelled program wrong here, by the way. So the number fifth reason is we are programmed. From birth, we are programmed. If you took a child from America and moved them to Russia, they would grow up and speak Russian, and they'd be very fluent, and no one would ever think anything different. Our minds are wide open when we're born. And it's the same thing. If we took a baby Russian and brought him over here, he'd grow up speaking English, American English, whatever you want to call it. And he or she would be a very average kid. Because our minds are so wide open to influence when we're born. And this is how we're taught. Everybody does this process, whether you're healthy or whether you're not healthy. The thoughts you think are largely responsible for the feelings you feel. And yeah, I'm getting into a little psychology here, because this is part of the process. You can't, like I said, you can't just treat the symptom, you got to treat the cause. Our thoughts are largely responsible for the feelings that we think. The feelings that we think are always responsible for the actions we take. So as an example, if you are a healthy person, you're thinking, when am I going to squeeze the time in to run my 5K today? I don't know, but I'll get it in there, and that's going to make you feel good. Feeling good is going to keep you on track, and you're going to take an action of actually running that 5K, which is going to get you closer towards your goals. Now, this same process can be used with someone that's not healthy. You wake up and you look in the mirror in the morning and you say to yourself, I'm out of shape, I feel horrible. I'm never going to get where I want to be. And so that's a feeling you take. So what's the next action? Well, it's obviously, well, I'm going to eat something to make me feel better. Then you feel horrible about that action. So you think about it again. Well, crap, I just blew my diet. Now what do I do? I feel bad. Well, hell, I might as well get the ice cream. Then it goes back to more thoughts about that again. So this is a cycle. Everybody does this cycle, but you can do it the right way or you can do it the wrong way. This is just how the human mind works. Whether you use it to your advantage or not, this is it. This is the deal. So, and this can be the formula for success or the formula for failure. It doesn't matter. Either one you choose. So you might be thinking, well, how do I start out? What's the first thought I should think to start this process in the right way? Well, what you got to do is use an idea. Let the past represent where you've been. Don't let that dictate where you're going. We're always at this point in the timeline of our lives, right down here. We're always in the middle. There's stuff we've done in the past. There's stuff we're inevitably going to do in the future. So what you got to do, instead of waking up in the morning and say, oh, I felt horrible, I look in the mirror. What did I do last time I felt horrible? You go back to a memory of what you did last time to make yourself feel better. Well, chances are, if you're overweight, the last time you ate some junk food to make yourself feel better. So that's pulling from a past memory. And that's going to go to a feeling of you feeling bad, which is going to go to action, more of the same. So the only way that you're going to get out of that cycle is to use an idea. Let an idea represent how you should feel. Not a past action. If you're out of shape now, chances are you were 5 years ago, a year ago, 10 years ago. It doesn't matter. So you can't keep pulling from old files from the past. These actions never worked for any of us. They never did what we needed to do, so we can't keep pulling from these old files. What we got to do is we got to let an idea represent how we should feel. Let the idea then dictate the thoughts that you think. The thoughts that you think are going to be responsible for the feelings that you feel and for the actions you take. So you can say at any time, right now, forget about the past. This is only about the future now. Where do I want to be a year from now? 6 months from now? 2 months from now? Tomorrow? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how much time you choose, but you got to realize that if you're going to make any significant progress in your health, you got to pick an idea to dictate your thoughts. Say to yourself, a year from now, this is the body I want to live in. I don't want to be going to the doctor. I don't want to be paying all this money for medications. This is the body I want to live in. That's going to make you feel good. You're going to take actions about that good feeling to get you further towards your goal. And not having the knowledge isn't really an excuse. I mean, 3 years ago I didn't know crap about nutrition. I didn't know anything about nutrition. And I thought I would never get to where I am today. I thought it would just never happen. I couldn't picture it. And as soon as I started picturing it, that's when this process came to me. Because then I could actually see where I needed to go and the steps I needed to get there. So this is very powerful too. Statistically, I'm sure the statistics about health are everywhere nowadays. Statistically, 67% of people are overweight. 67%. So, if this is you in the middle, percentage-wise, the red is going to represent overweight people, and the blue is going to represent healthy. Now, everybody has an inner circle. If this is you, you're the sun in your universe. These close people are the people that are closest to you. You've probably arranged your life to be comfortable. And if you have habits of eating the wrong foods and doing the wrong things, chances are you filled your inner circle with reds. Now the blues are only going to be the people that are healthy in your life. And in the blue and red mixes, these are actually people who look like they're in good shape, who might fit into a decent sized pair of jeans, but they really eat little bits of junk food all the time and their insides are pretty much rotting away. So, these people that might be close to your inner circle, they're faking it, you know, they're not really healthy. So that's what that represents. So it's a big process in order for you to navigate to somebody that can help you decide what to do. Every time you got to weave in and out of everybody else just to get you to where you want to be. To have somebody answer the questions that you might have about how to change yourself, about what to eat. And the biggest thing is, when I lost a lot of weight, it seems like everybody I knew just called me up. What are you doing? What are you eating? When are you eating it? And I didn't really anticipate that. And that's before I started doing this for a living. That was just when I did it for me. And so everybody wants to know exactly how you did it. So since the majority of people are overweight, a couple of things are guaranteed to happen when you start to get in shape, or whenever you even think about getting in shape. First of all, people are going to try to stop you. It's subconscious, and we're human, and we all do it. Whether we're not trying to hurt people, but we all do it. As soon as someone tries to get healthy, if you're not where you want to be, they are a constant reminder that you're not where you want to be. They are an eyesore every single day. They walk by you and they're lighter, they're looking better, They're feeling better, and it makes you guilty because you haven't done the things you need to do in order to get yourself in shape. And I used to be one of these people too, and friends of mine started dieting. I would say, hey man, it's Tuesday. So? It's wing night. Are you crazy? You gotta come out. $3 pictures. Come on. No, I'm going to the gym, you know. Alright, well, I'll save a picture for you. Try to make them feel guilty. You know, you don't do it on purpose, but we all do it. It's just part of psychology. And number two, when you start to get healthy, you're going to be an oddball. You're going to be the one that's out of the box. And people are going to advertise that to you by the questions they ask. They're not going to know. They're not going to know why you do the things you do. What are you eating that for? You ate that yesterday. What are you going to the gym for? Did you just go to the gym the other day? You know? You're packing all your meals for a week on Sunday? What? Are you crazy? It's football season. You know? And these are the questions that people ask because they don't get it. They don't know, and it's not their fault. We don't teach this in school. We don't teach how to get healthy in school because if we were to do that, we'd have to start feeding our kids the right foods in school, and we don't. Because statistically, 30% of our children are overweight or obese as well. So, since it's not taught in school, this is all new. So this is very, very important, this last one. Most people never understand this, and it costs them their lives. I don't know, I listen to audiobooks, I'm not sure where I got this story from, but it was a story about a pharmacy in New York City. It was like a chain pharmacy. There's 3 stores. And when the owner died, everybody expected the wife to sell the company. But she hadn't planned on selling the company. So after the funeral and everything was over and everybody got settled, by the way, the guy died of heart disease because he was a diabetic. So she hadn't planned on selling the company. But everybody thought she was going to sell it. So when she walked into the board meetings after the funerals and everything kind of calmed down, these are the questions she asked the executives of the company. And it wasn't a small pharmacy, but it wasn't a corner store either. I mean, they did a couple million a year. She brought everybody in and she asked them, what are you doing? What works? And what doesn't work? She told them 2, stop doing what doesn't work, spend all the time and energy doing what does work, and she took the store from 5 million to like 20 million the next year. She just went in every now and then. And her husband was there every day and he couldn't figure this out. And I thought to myself when I was hearing this, why can't we do that with our health? It's like a serious audit. What am I doing? Trying to get healthy, right? Trying to get in shape. So what works? And I know it goes more than that. But what generally works is eating the right foods at the right time, proper exercise, which is cardio plus resistance training, and preventing temptation. If you were to make the same decision she made, and question yourself every time, what am I doing? What works? What doesn't work? You can change your life like night and day. It'd be like unadulterated magic. If you spent all the energy doing what does work and none doing what doesn't work. What doesn't work? Well, eating junk food, not exercising, causing temptation. Now, causing temptation and preventing temptation are in here for a reason. If you're trying to live healthy and you're trying to change your life, why would you ever, for the love of God, have a single piece of junk food in your house? Doesn't make any sense. It's not a treat. You don't need it every now and then. It's not a necessity, period. Period. So why would you have it? The number one thing you can do to start changing is to get it out. The chances of you driving to the store at 2 o'clock in the morning for a candy bar are very slim. When you wake up and you're starving in the middle of the night, if it's there, you will eat it. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. Because self-control is a long-term goal. It takes people years and years and years and years to develop self-control. But we don't need self-control to be healthy. What we need is to just get the temptation out of there. If it's not there, we don't need self-control. And so then you alter your life around that as well. You don't go places where they're going to have crap to eat, which is pretty much everywhere. You know, and that's a big thing too, because around here most employers will just label their break rooms with donuts and soda machines and crap that's going to crash you by 2 o'clock and take your productivity in half. It doesn't make any sense. So